All right. Hey, everybody. Guessing that was muted, so let's go ahead and fix that. All right. Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in to the WTCF podcast. It's Charlie here, hanging out in this void, and want to go ahead and cover this last week's intention, and maybe this is something that could help you a little bit. So, this last week, the intention was dreams do come true, have courage to pursue them. The reason I wanted to kind of focus in on this one is some of the other additional struggles that I've been kind of working my way through, and trying to take more time to think about like the long-term goals and dreams of like what I really want to expect of myself. So what I found myself thinking about a whole lot more is not so much of like, you know, what's going to happen to me when I retire, but like I already have a plan of like all the stuff that's going to already be. um, I still love helping people train, and I really hope that I continue to feel this way like forever. There definitely are days that have their ups and downs. So there could be some moments that really have this like interesting pushback where you feel like an imposter or you feel like you're not capable of. But again, like this is something that I really want to focus my time in on and continue to get better. I've been at this journey for 8 years overall, three with a lot more dedication, and I'm trying to take a slow approach, right? Like I had my 50 pounds come off, and not much of it has come back. So I went from about 245, 250. I kind of hang around at like 205. And when it starts to get cold out, I kind of get up to about 210. Even just recently worked my way down from 218, recognizing I was making a couple of other mistakes. But I needed to remind myself to have courage. Like what are the dreams that I'm really focusing in on? So during the time frame when I wrote the original letter about it, there was a lot more focus on the marathon. So the marathon in Chicago had just wrapped up at that time, and my thoughts were kind of with that a lot, where it's like people have this great dream to go ahead and run the marathon and do hard work when it comes to that, and to recognize that it's a continuation of pursuit, right? You continue to take one step after another, after another, after another, and eventually you find your way along, and bam, you hit 26.2 miles. Even though it's still funny to look back and say, like the first one, the guy, died. But we become such stronger people to be able to endure and fight through these things. So what I wanted to kind of focus in a little bit more this week is are these things. Except that it won't be easy. The sooner we realize that pursuing our dreams will involve setbacks, the quicker we can face them with resilience. When something doesn't go our way, take a breath and keep going. Know that this challenge is part of the process. And this is something that I've kind of struggled with, and this is why I wanted to think more about those. Like, it's not supposed to be easy. If it was easy, everybody would do it, and then what would be the point? Because then we'd just be like everybody else. It's to recognize the things that are really important to self and continue to make progress. Again, I can beat those points into the ground as many times as I can and just really keep thinking about them and keep working on them and put them into new perspectives and new ideas. The second one I have on here, courage is built through action. Even on days when you're unsure, taking one small step towards your dream reinforces your courage. Every rep you push through, every obstacle you tackle, every moment you choose to keep going builds that inner strength. So again, like what I've recognized for myself in my own running, starting off with a slower pace and now building and building and building. Right now, I'm probably closest to the fastest I've ever been, which is cool. Like I can run a 9 minute mile. That was never something I can even do like in grade school. I compare myself to other people in that one, and they're like, "Oh man, I used to run 7 minute miles." I've never been in that club. I've never been anywhere close. Back in the day when I was a kid, I think my best was around like 10 minutes. So to be able to get to 9 minute miles is a huge ordeal for me, and have the courage to keep coming back and keep coming back, and that's built additional confidence in myself. So now I can look at these moments and say, "Well, hey, I have like technically improved. There's a new number. Like this is statistically correct that I'm moving in the right direction." Trust the journey. Sometimes the dreams might seem distant and like we're only focused on the end result. This week, try to focus on the present step, whether it's showing up for a workout or tackling a challenge at work. Each step brings you closer. You do not have to get the entire staircase. Um, you don't have to see the entire staircase to know that you're climbing. Um, I think that's actually really important because I think we can get lost at the fact of getting to an end goal and saying like that's the everything of it, and get frustrated when that step is kind of out of bounds to us or a little bit too far out of reach, or maybe we're fighting for something we can't quite see the finish line. it can be incredibly disheartening. So to remind ourselves to trust the journey and to kind of recognize like, yeah, there's going to be spots where we're not going to see a nice clear road in front of us. A lot of times that road of what we want to go do, a lot of it hasn't been built, and we have to go ahead and develop that ourselves and be able to move forward and kind of strike while the iron's hot and say like, hey, you know what, I can trust myself through this process. I'm smart enough to go ahead and take that next step and kind of see that, okay, I know that it's still going to be there. Like if I close my eyes, put my hand out in front of my face, I still know that it's there. So I don't necessarily have to see things to trust that they're there. And then surround yourself with support. Courage is often easier when you have people who believe in us, whether it's through conversations in class, support from the community, or simply knowing that we're all striving towards something together. Lean on your tribe. Um, this is also something really difficult. Like again, looking at the community, recognizing that a group of people who wanted to focus in on getting strong and getting flexible, um, I didn't see it in the community. And I think it's super important as we age to have like those two factors. So, you know, working with my community and building them up to give them more confidence. Like, again, surround yourself with the people that are really going to, you know, head in the same direction as you, that are working on similar things, or just, again, be the support for somebody else who might really need it. So as of late, I've recognized a ton of support that I've gotten from my family. So my mother, my brother, and my sister all helped out at the end of casket races. So, you know, I just kind of said, "Can you guys help me out with this one?" And I showed up, and they had like a photo op set up and candy set up for the kids, and they ordered pizza. And oddly enough, a Blue Moon promo truck pulled up, and my dad just kind of said like, "Hey, can we just have some beers?" And the guy just gave us beers, which was really kind of just a fun way to go about the day. So I'm really thankful for like getting the support from them, or you know, working with the rest of the community of like, hey, you know, I can't be everywhere at once, so it is helpful to let me know that there's something going on, or maybe I can start to help, you know, to lean on them a little bit more in terms of like helping me clean up because again even though I'm in this void right now is out in Lincolnshire, so I'm at my full-time job, but it's lunch, so I'm taking my personal time to go ahead and do this. But I think it's really important for us to recognize that, you know, the things that we really want out of life can often feel like they're really far away or incredibly difficult to get to. And developing our courage, one of the other like stoic, you know, pillars that we should really be leaning on, can help us tremendously in being able to move forward and saying like, hey, I'm a capable individual. I can do these things. I can do these things. You know, dreams don't die unless we let them. So you have to go ahead and actively choose to keep pushing your dream forward. And hopefully that's something that can, you know, really help you get through your day, develop a little bit further. On that note,